I've been watching YouTube since I was 3 or 4, and I started actually making videos when I was 7. So about half my life I've been on this platform on social media, just, kind of looking for something that is interesting to me. And what I used to see when I was little on YouTube, people recording themselves and just kind of doing their own thing on Minecraft or Roblox or some other game, and that was the main thing. I liked watching people game and being entertaining. And even though I was little, I kind of it's almost like something in your head that just sparks, and it kind of changes the way you think and what you want to do with your life. And growing up, I kind of wanted to be an entertainer in any facet, like, whether it's like being an actor, a comedian, or, anything. Something that kind of involved entertainment, and YouTube kind of seemed like the easiest way to do that, I guess you could say, because it's a pretty free roam platform. You could do anything you want on the platform. Well, not everything, but you can basically just bring your heart out, soul out, and kind of say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and just have fun, whether any other category. It doesn't have to be gaming, it doesn't have to be something entertaining. It could be literally anything. And that's what I found was cool about the platform, and it was kind of an escape for me in my childhood, because to be honest, my childhood wasn't the best. So whenever I'd feel down or bored or something just came up and I didn't really want to be a part of it, I just kind of wanted to make a video, or kind of just like talking to the camera or something, and like either play games or like build Legos, because that's what I used to do for a bit. I've made a few Lego videos when I was younger, and it actually did okay. I got like 2 views on it, but back then I was like, oh, that's cool. And that that still kind of inspired me. The fact that I could upload something on this platform and it would, if it looked interesting to some people would watch it. And I found that really, really cool. And it was, you wouldn't think I would say this as a little kid, but it was revolutionary, because, it started like really booming at the time when I was like little, when I was born. Like YouTube like really started to grow, and people started like doing commentaries, like kind of what I'm doing now, but I'm doing it in 2023. Not sure if that's still a valid thing you could do nowadays, but I thought it was really cool, and just a way to distract myself from the other stuff that happened. A while ago I got harassed for about a year and a half by a small group of people, and they kind of, I don't know, it changed my life in a way. Like, they changed how I acted sometimes, and it kind of made me a worse person, I guess, more aggressive, I guess you could say, more non-trustworthy, because nowadays I just don't trust anyone, and actions speak louder than words. That I like, from what I think, that's how I think. It's the way I think as a whole. And yeah, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say untrustworthy, but I'd say that I don't put a lot of trust into some people, only because I can't really have that stuff happen to me again, because it kind of ruined my channel, and that's one of the reasons I left it, my original channel. And it kind of, people say depression isn't real. Like, I mean, it kind of is, to be honest. I mean, until you get over it. I mean, I kind of gotten over it, but still, it like still resonates with me, because it's something I always look back on. And I think I'm kind of to blame, because I wasn't really doing anything to help the situation, and I think it just kind of got worse. But I did talk with the person, and we're friends now. We talk every once in a while, kind of like reflect, because he's kind of one of my best friends. But it kind of really changed the way I viewed the world and how I acted, and just everything about me. I feel like it really affected me and changed me, because to be honest, I used to be like a really nice person. Now I just turned into a complete asshole, and not taking any bullshit, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I digress. And not only that, but other things happened, even like younger, because this was when I was in 4th grade. I was like 9, I think. And it's still, it's still one of the biggest things that's ever happened to me and affected me. But other things happened that I feel like in some way kind of changed the way I acted as well, and kind of how I think, because, you know, I was told some of these things, and it kind of, you know, it kind of disassociates my identity and kind of makes like another version of my head. It's like two sides in your head, because people always say that like there's a good side and a bad side in your head, but as I've grown up, I've kind of realized that I think it's just one in your head, and it's just kind of acting like there is two, but there's only one, and it's really only you, and anything that's kind of happened in your life, it's probably your fault, and you just kind of have to accept that and think and reflect, and you can only just keep going and think about, you know, what you could do to, you know, improve, and, you know, think what you could do better in life, how you act and how you view the world, because if you don't, then you know, that depression or that thing that just swallows you whole will consume you, and you won't be able to get over it in some ways that, you know, it just ruins your life, and eventually you're fucked. And I realized that recently and in the past years, and all I've been trying to do is just kind of, you know, change the way I act, like when I'm around people, just, you know, so I can act like I'm doing good, and, you know, because it's you know, that's one of the things I hate about myself, is the fact that I sometimes act around everyone, and it feels like I put on a character to appease people and make other people happy, but I'm not always happy myself. Just depends on who I'm hanging out with and how I feel, and that kind of yeah, it really changes how I view things. And, you know, when it's all over at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it feels like you've done a lot of work, and you know, you put in the effort to make everyone else happy, but except yourself. And that's how I feel currently in some spots, like even like just in calls, like whenever I join a call with people, you know, sometimes I'll even still like kind of put on a quote unquote character, but yeah, I don't want to really always have to do that in some cases, and, you know, because it's not always a thing where I should be honest with people, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's not like they can do anything to help you. I mean, it's good to get your thoughts off your chest, you know, if you're that type of person, which I am, but it doesn't seem like my right to kind of involve people in my own trouble. You know, it's kind of for me to figure out, and that's kind of what I try to do still, and try to figure out, you know, what I want to do and how I want to improve. And I think about that every day, hoping that, you know, eventually I'll find the right thing to change, and maybe that could change my life forever in some way. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you know, you never know until you actually do it. And, you know, that's the one fear, is you never think you're good enough until you actually do it. And when you do it, then you think you're great at it. But, you know, even then, it's still something you can fail at if you don't continue doing it. And that's how I feel about the channel that I used to have, the one that I had 500 subscribers on. I was doing Roblox content, and I would just sit there recording like 5-minute videos, and it was like, it seemed easy, but also it felt like just mentally draining at the same time, because it wasn't the absolute thing I wanted to do, because obviously you could do so much more, which I wish I could, but and you can, but I'm just, at the time, I was just thinking differently, and I thought to myself, and I was thinking, the content I was doing currently, I didn't want to continue doing. I wanted to do something more fun. I want to be more honest with myself, and kind of bring myself out more than just like I don't know, because I used to be sort of kid-friendly, and like I didn't really swear as much back in the day, but now I just don't really care about how I act. Like, I can say fucking anything. Well, you can't say that in the first 30 seconds of the video, but you know, I won't talk shit about YouTube, because I've praised them enough for kind of changing my life in a way, and without YouTube, that's probably, I honestly don't even know what I'd be doing if YouTube wasn't a thing, if gaming wasn't really a big thing either. You know, I just look towards some type of entertainment like acting or comedy or whatever, and I won't brag too much, but I digress. You know, I think this might be one of the hardest videos I've had to make, only because it's kind of talking from the heart, not really holding anything back, just kind of talking. And I see a lot of other people do this, and eventually, if you want to take it seriously, you kind of have to, just to let yourself out and let people see the real you and not really the character you that you put on YouTube, because it's always like you're putting on a mask right when you're about to do a video, and you say the things that make people laugh, make people really care and have a good time. And that's all I've really kind of wanted to do, is just make people laugh and, have fun and see what I see and what I want to do with YouTube and how I kind of want to improve. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.